YouTube family. The NFL media really thought they could play in Shedeur Sanders' face, y'all. So on Father's Day, let's talk about how they tried to shame the Sanders family on draft day, only for Shedeur to remind them exactly who he is. From Herm Edwards to LaVar Arrington, I got a treat for y'all. The real ones been knew what he was capable of. So now that he's lighting up the field, why is the media suddenly pretending like this came out of nowhere? So let's break it down, y'all. Yo, what's up, family? Once again, happy Father's Day. I wanted to come on here and show fellas some love. So, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to Black Culture is Lit TV. Today, we're going to give flowers not only to Shedeur, but we're going to give them to Coach Prime and all the other fathers out there for Father's Day. So, not just for how he reps as QB1, but for how he's handled all the hate the media has tried to throw at him. They really tried to football shame the entire Sanders family, y'all. And now look at them, all shocked, like Shedeur didn't have it always was him. You know what I mean? So let's talk about the quick media flip. The NFL looking real scripted right now. And why black excellence always come out on top. So let's go. I thought this video would have been queued up, but that's okay. I'll cue it back up. So the first one, I wanted to show you guys because like I tell you guys, I want to be the source for truth. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Herm um, Edwards, but that's the least I can do is to bring the truth. So this is a Father's Day connection, you guys. This is a perfect day to talk about legacy, fatherhood, and greatness. Coach Prime and Shedeur are the epitome of that. So from youth to college, Shedeur's game was developed by his pops with love, pressure, and vision. But the media loves tearing down black fathers and sons in sports. The story flips the narrative on its head. So, y'all remember how they were clowning Shedeur on draft day? He's only good because of his dad. He hasn't played any real competition. Big name pundits was questioning if he could even be drafted as a QB, y'all. But it was deeper than that. It was coded. We know what it was. It was a hit on black QBs, and especially ones that's tied to black power figures like Dion. And it's sad. So I want to go ahead and get into Herm Edwards, and I want to kind of fast forward it to now because some of these same voices are amazed, y'all. They are amazed, shocked by his decision making, pocket presence, and leadership. They'd be like, "Oh wow, he's really special." It's an insult because he's been special. Like we ain't been seeing that. It's like, what is wrong with these people? So of course, I put a clip from Herm Edwards, and then I have one from LaVar Arrington, who keeps it real from day one. They never doubted Shedeur, just like a lot of us, and they caught out the BS, right? So let's go ahead and hear what Herm Edwards has to say, and it's a breath of fresh air because it's a white man being honest, and it's just that simple. So let's listen to Herm's.
joining us here on The Fan. Herm, how you doing today?
I am well. It's kind of interesting, the National Football League, especially, right about now when guys are doing a little bit of working. There's always high expectations right now. There's no pass, there's no score, and guys are excited, which is a good thing.
It is a good thing, and we're very excited here in Cleveland for a multitude of reasons. Obviously, we have a quarterback battle going on, and we have 4 different quarterbacks. Before we go into that battle and go, well, let's just start off going one by one, essentially. But Shedeur Sanders is where I want to start with you. It seems like he's had a very, very good mini camp and very good little last month here, hanging around the Browns and really just showing off the field and on the field what he can do. What are your expectations for Shedeur this upcoming season?
Soul has a little bit of everything. You have.
Well, I think at the end, especially when the preseason starts, he's going to find a way to beat those guys out. That's just my opinion. The eye test tells me at the end of the day. Now, I've known him since he was a little kid. Mm-hmm. But I just think his makeup, what he's all about, felt like he got slighted in the draft, and I will agree with him. He did. Not saying maybe he should have been the first player picked. I'm not saying that. But I think there's a lot that went into that, why he dropped so much. And I don't think it had anything to do with football. But the other things that go along with football, I think the glare of who he is, who his father is, I think a lot of teams were hesitant, worried that they didn't want that in their locker room. But when you meet the kid and you meet what he's about, he's a pro. He's a pro. He knows how to do things. He goes about it the right way. So I just think when the lights come on and they start playing in the preseason, look out. I think he's going to do good.
Herm, what do you think is his most translatable NFL trait?
I think, he understands the game very well. I mean, this guy's been schooled since he was a little kid by his dad. He's been around it. He's seen it. He understands the mentality of it all. He grew up in it. He's watched it. His father, maybe you can say one of the best athletes ever played the game. And I think sometimes, when people look at Deion Sanders and they don't know him, they don't understand Deion Sanders is one of the smartest football players ever played the position. So this guy is not just, talented. I mean, he's a study. I mean, he gets it. He knows how to prepare. All those things are in his favor.
Is he going to have enough reps in order to win out the job? When you have 3 other quarterbacks and 4 quarterbacks total, it's not something we typically see. And yeah, there's a lot of days, but is he going to have enough reps in order to be able to really showcase what he can do?
Well, that's going to be on the coach. That's where coaching comes in at the end, right? I mean, when you watch him practice every day, it's like, okay, eventually you got to make a decision. So that's it. Eventually they got to say, okay, this is how it's going to be, because you're right, especially in professional football. You only have so many reps. It's not like college football where you can stay out there for 3 hours with those kids. Mm-hmm. You only got so many players, and you are correct. Who was going to get the reps? And I think the reps are going to be looked at this way. When you get reps, what is your production? And here's another thing I want to know. This is even going to be more interesting. Who are they building an offense around?
I mean,
that has something to do with quarterback too.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of run game, if I'm going to be honest, for this upcoming year. I think a lot of run game, probably a lot of defense and run game. Probably steal a lot of what the Steelers have done in recent years and maybe try to attack it for that way if you're trying to go just in a big picture. But for the offense, it's going to be a lot of run game.
Well, we say that, but they were 29th running the football. There's only 32 teams.
No, I know, but they drafted 2 running backs, though. That's why you took Judkins in the second round. You took Sampson.
Running backs don't block.
I know the running back. Yeah, I know. It's all fair points. But you have a healthier offensive line. Yeah, healthier offensive line, you would imagine. Offensive line was miserable last year, Herm. You know that. That was a miserable offensive line last year. That was tomato cans over there, Herm.
Yep, I understand. I had some of those guys in my time. I understand. No, I just think, it's interesting that, and this, it's just, and you said it when we started the conversation, they got 5 quarterbacks. Not 3, they got 5. They got 5 of them.
You count Deshaun then is what you're getting at here.
Yeah, I'm gonna count him, but he's out. He's still recovering. So we was okay. They got 4. They got 4 quarterbacks. I get it, but I'm like, who? And 2 of them are young ones, right? Mm-hmm. 2 of them are young ones. And so it's like, oh, okay, well, it'd be interesting to see how they do this, how they actually, divvy out the reps. How do they do that? I don't know how to do that. Look, it's not like Kenny Pickett is the guy, and,
right.
And he doesn't like, okay, I'm ready to go. He ain't ready to go either.
3 shocking reasons why butter belongs in your coffee.
And there you have it. And just to give you a little background on him, he was an NFL player. He played cornerback in the league from 1977 to 1986. He was best known as the head coach of the New York Jets and Kansas City Chiefs. He was also a former ESPN analyst. And he is known for keeping it 100, y'all. That's what it says. It says, especially when it comes to black athletes and fair treatment in the NFL. So the next video I want to show you guys is from LaVar. Hold on. And basically, oh shoot. I don't know what I did. Goodness gracious. Oh, sorry, y'all. I think they need to do better with this. So this next video is LaVar Arrington, and basically LaVar is he was a former NFL linebacker for the Washington and New York Giants. He was All-American and a beast at Penn State. He's now a sports analyst on the show Up on Game and Speak. Okay, so let's check out and see what he has to say about how the white media pundits are now shocked that Shedeur is playing like this after they didn't tore him down. Now they want to try to pick him back up. So here's LaVar.
Handle Shedeur. Let's check that out.
Cleveland is in a bad spot. If Shedeur Sanders isn't at worst the backup, they are going to fry the media because of what they feel coming out of the draft and how they covered it and how they've been shamed and made to feel like y'all took advantage of Shedeur Sanders. Y'all drove a whole entire draft off of Shedeur Sanders, and they're right. Whoever's saying it, you're right. If Shedeur Sanders at worst isn't the backup on this team, there's going to be hell to pay through the media. At best, if I am the head coach, the GM, and the owner of this team, I'm naming Shedeur Sanders my starter today. Today. You know why? Joe Flacco, love you to death. You gave us a good little run. You're a Raven. Kick rocks. Kenny Pickett, you ain't shown us that you that good at all. You here for an insurance policy. Kick rocks. Dylan Gabriel, we took you with the third round pick. We feel really good about what you could possibly be, but do we ever see you as a starter? I don't know. It's a strong possibility that you're not a starter for our franchise. It's a very strong possibility, but my goodness, you probably can be a really, really good backup for us at some point in time. If I'm the Cleveland Browns, if you're looking at the coverage of Shedeur Sanders and the way all of this is kind of being properly placed on the table, you about to get served if you don't see this coming. Just name him the starter today. Name him the starter and let him do what he's going to do. For good, for bad, or worse, whatever it is, allow for him to do it because you drafted him. You drafted him. And it makes you start to think, did he drop in the draft because of his talent, or did he drop in the draft because of his fame? That's the conclusion I've been coming to lately. It's his fame and it's his influence. You do not want, when you heard Stephen A. call that man comparable to Colin Kaepernick, you have now made this a racial, cultural comparison in terms of why this man isn't being respected as a talent.
Is it true that eating eggs can cause type 2?
Wow, you guys. I think that's it. Let me see. Oh, hold up. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Arrington does make some.
So the NFL tried to act like, he wasn't even top tier. But, Shedeur played with poise, precision, and heart under pressure. Now every NFL scout want to act like they discovered him. They're trying to act like they're so shocked now. Like he didn't have 4 years of tape out there. It's given scripted, though. It's given agenda, and now it's blowing up in their face. So Shedeur just added his name to the list of black quarterbacks who had to prove what they already were. And it's so many I can name. But let's not let the media rewrite this, y'all. He didn't arrive. He always been here. Same with Coach Prime. These men built their platform without begging for acceptance. So black fathers and sons making way without permission. That's the message. So yes, let's keep this same energy this Father's Day, you guys. We celebrate not just great dads, but great stories of black men rising above the noise. And I wanted to share one second. I want to share a picture of these two for Father's Day. So let's go ahead and share that picture. There we go. Maybe one day the stream will be better at clicking on pictures and things like that. So I wanted to end this video with a homage to, Coach Prime, because it's crazy that the NFL don't want him to be a father to his children. But on every NFL page today is a tribute to Father's Day. I just think that's crazy. Everybody get to have a daddy but Shedeur. Kind of weird. So let's keep the same energy. This Father's Day, we're going to celebrate not just great dads, but great stories of Black men rising above the noise. Shedeur didn't wait for the media to love him. He just went out and became undeniable. And that's what QB1s do. So I want you to make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more dope content from Black Cultures Lit TV. Push me to 1,000, guys. Help me out. I want to be a voice in our community, a positive voice. Drop a comment. Did you ever doubt Shedeur? Or did you already know he was him? Were you riding since day one? Let's talk about it. I think Herm and praising Shedeur's leadership and LaVar Arrington saying he was undervalued because of who he is, I think that was great takes. So yeah, the NFL said he wasn't ready, but Shedeur says he's the future of the NFL. So again, I will keep you updated on valuable, true content related to Shedeur. I know you guys are tired of all the media pundits. They're back and forth. This is back and forth, that lying, just doing all type of mess. So once I see the sources I trust, I would definitely bring it to you guys. So thanks for stopping by, checking out my channel. Make sure you like, subscribe.